Hey guys, I'm back for another video, and today I'm gonna be announcing something pretty important, I would say, for not just the channel, but I would say my life. Anyways, I'm spending 3 months away from being a YouTuber and a streamer. I'm not burnt out. I'm also reading a script right now, so sorry if I'm like, well, not entirely a script, it's like bullet points. But I'm not depressed or stressed. I don't need a break. It's none of that. I have an opportunity. So you see, I've been grinding Hypixel Skyblock Iron Man for the past 5 months. During those 5 months, I spent just over 1,400 hours playing the game, not including bingo. Including bingo, it's more like 1,430, and then maybe a little bit of time in other profiles. Probably about 1,500 hours. It's a lot. I averaged over 10 hours a day for literally 5 months straight. So yeah, I guess I'm a little burnt out of the game, I guess. But that's not the point, right? During that time, I have recorded many hours of gameplay. I would say probably 3 terabytes worth of footage in total. But as I've been uploading the series and continuing to stream, it's now again been 5 months, and even after that time I still have 280 hours of stream footage left that hasn't been processed yet. Again, 2 terabytes of data just right there. And assuming that 6 hours of footage are spent to make each video, that would mean that I have 46 stream highlight videos at the ready to upload. A lot of people have been asking, ThirtyVirus, why are the videos so far behind the streams? That's why. I'm making content faster than we can upload it. And on top of that, I'm actually recording 10 YouTube videos today, including this one. This is the first one. So let's see if I make it through the other 9. They're usually, or they're like Skyblock videos, you know, tutorials, that sort of thing. But anyways, assuming that each video buys me 2 days because we upload every other day, that would mean in total I have 112 days or 3.7 months of content. So yeah, I guess one reason why I'm stopping for these 3 months is just to let the footage catch up so that we actually are up to date, because a lot of people have been complaining recently about, well, ThirtyVirus, you're uploading videos that were recorded 3 months ago. What's going on? There you go. But that's not the only reason. I am going to be coding a game engine and then using that engine to make a game. So there's this project that I've been working on since 2014 called RP Games Engine. You know, RPG, role-playing game. I thought it was a clever name nearly a decade ago. Anyways, this was a little passion project of mine that I started during a BOCES class in a facility called C-Tech. Would highly recommend a trade school to anyone that has the option. It's an awesome experience, at least for me it was. But anyway, during that programming class, I had one of the best professors you could ask for, because all of these programming projects that he would give me basically got boiled down to, do you know how to make an animation in Windows Forms? Do you know how to make buttons that are clickable? Do you know how to make, I think one of them was a pizza ordering app or whatever. I basically brokered an agreement with my professor that instead of doing the projects as listed specifically on the worksheets, that I just add the feature to my game. So there was an animation project, I added a walk cycle to the game. There was a project where you would have to make a horror game where it does jump scares and the light levels change. I made it so you can vary light levels in the game, and then had some jump scares, which I've since gotten rid of, but you know. I added inventories. I added dialogue trees. I added music. I added the fading in and out of music. So all these projects kept piling up for just as features for my game, and it built up to this big thing, and now I have a game engine. And again, this was back in 2014, a long time ago, and I actually made YouTube videos at that time going over my progress in the game. That's what you're seeing right now. And this project went through so many changes. It started in Visual Basic with Windows Forms. I then figured out Windows Forms is too laggy, so I updated to GDI Plus, which was an awesome performance boost, but it still was pretty limited in what it can do. And you know, having 5 FPS sucked, and, you know, upgrading to 20 was great, but it was still not the highest FPS, and the refresh rate could have used some work. So then I upgraded to monogame, and then eventually I figured out that monogame, which, by the way, is Microsoft XNA upgraded for modern times. That's also monogame is what was used to make, I believe, Stardew Valley. Again, it's not a game engine. It's more like a way to use OpenGL, that sort of thing. Anyways, I figured out it wasn't made for Visual Basic. It was made for C#. So I changed the language to C#, which required that I completely recode the game, which I did several times, actually. I went through updates pretty quickly at first, but then life got in the way. You know, I had YouTube to do even back then, and school, and college eventually. And then eventually, when the YouTube channel actually kicked off with Hytale and Skyblock, I had no time to do RP Games Engine. So I ended up not really getting any more than like 2, maybe 3 weeks of work maximum on the project. That was about it. I never got to finish it. But here we are now with this opportunity where suddenly I have a ridiculous amount of footage. Again, almost 4 months if you include the recorded ones I'm making today. So why not take this opportunity to finish RP Games Engine? And whew, I can't freaking wait, dude. All the footage you've seen so far was in development builds. It looks like Pokemon. I'm not an artist. I took the assets from Pokemon just to demonstrate. It's all, you know, programmer stuff. None of it's meant for release. I'm not going to sell it this way. So Nintendo, stay back. I'm not trying to infringe on your copyright. I just don't know how to draw or do pixel art. So I'm working on it. I'm going to have my own stuff by the time I release anything, especially paid. I just want to clarify. I'm not trying to infringe on any copyrights here. Now, I'm actually going to show you guys a clip of the most recent version of the game. And that is where RP Games Engine is now. That clip was recorded back in 2020. Yeah, it's been a long time. I never had the chance to finish it. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to make this engine. I'm going to release it so that people can make free stuff in it. And then if they decide to sell anything, it's a little rev share, so I get a little something. Once I've finished the game engine, I've also had another idea that's been around for, I would say, 4 years now. Not as long as the engine, but I've had this idea for a game that I'm going to call Project Immortal. This is a story-driven RPG experience, and I have a whole bunch of ideas ready. I actually have a Google Doc here I'm going to read off of real quick. You are immortal because you are frozen in a very specific moment in time. Nothing can hurt you or heal you, and you don't age. Literally stuck exactly as you were in the moment that you were frozen. You must live with the consequences of making friends and losing them over many hundreds of years, and make tough choices that impact not only the town, but all of humanity. The main character is planned to be a late teens person in California in the mid 1800s, maybe San Francisco. So the way the game starts is you spend your first entire day living a normal life. The choices you make that day determine the state that you will be in the exact moment in which you are paused in time through some accident at the end of that day. A broken ankle never heals. Being well rested means you're sharper, but it also means that you missed an event that morning that could give you another benefit. Each decision here has pluses and minuses throughout the entire game, like low intelligence in Fallout New Vegas, making you guess that the password is ice cream in the Robco building. I always love that detail. I'm a big Fallout fan, by the way, so a lot of RPG elements are going to be implemented into this project. I don't want to spoil too much, actually. We're going to leave it there, but by some science steampunk means, you are frozen in time in your own enclosed time loop, so you're able to move, interact with the environment, maybe even digest food, but the state of your body never changes despite living forever, and you are stuck in that exact moment when the rest of the world moves on. And there's a lot of crazy moments that are planned. I'm gonna talk about a few things. I'm not gonna go too far in depth because I don't want to spoil it. There's gonna be multiple paths. You can choose to be the hero, save humanity, be the one person who can actually fix things when calamity hits because you can't die. You can decide to take a passive approach. Don't mess with humanity. Live your own secluded life away from everybody else. You could be the dictator that rules over everything. Or you can decide to find a way to continue the research that led to the accident that made you immortal and then try to fix it. And in the process might break all of the universe. So it's pretty crazy. There's a lot of systems in this game that I'm planning on doing. Again, dialogue trees. I'm hoping to have Easter eggs thrown all over the place. And there's a lot of emotional scenes. I can envision, let's say you enter a bar, right? There's a bunch of people you used to know maybe 300 years ago. That bar is now abandoned. It's all with moss and whatever covering it. You walk into the building and only to discover that everyone's still there. They're having their drinks. There's some nice music in the background. Everything's upbeat and happy. But the second you try to interact with anybody, you flash back to the present. And it's all overgrown, dark, wet, and there's nothing there, and you are left behind, and all of those people you recognize are no longer there and have passed many years ago. A lot of powerful imagery. There's going to be relationships that die because you can't. There's going to be friends that you make and lose. There's going to be a lot of tough questions about mortality in general and whether or not you would want to live for thousands of years. I've said a lot. And there's so much more I want to share. This document's like 17 pages long. It's going to have a show, don't tell style of showing the content to everybody. It's not just going to be like, oh, so this is the significance of this moment because... Blah, blah, blah. No, you have to pick out those details yourself. And by the way, the music that's been playing this entire time as I described this is little bits of soundtrack that my friend Glenn already made for Immortal. So my friend Glenn is an absolute legend and musical magician. He's absolutely crazy. He's just as passionate about this project as I am, and the music is going to be one of the highlights, I think. It's really great. To reel it back in, there's a few frequently asked questions from my chat because I gave little details here and there. It is going to be a cross-platform game planned for all the major devices, you know, Xbox, PlayStation, Nintendo Switch, obviously PC, mobile, iOS and Android. That'll be cool. It's gonna have a target price of $11.99, and I estimate a lot of people are curious about this. The amount that I keep at the end of the day, after like Steam gets their cut, after taxes, after paying people, I'll get about $4. So like just under or just over a third of it. No, exactly a third of it. I can do math. I'm considering doing a limited run for play testing as well for channel members. So if you want to play test this game, any member tier I think will be, what was that noise? Any member tier will have, I believe, I'm gonna pick from a pool of channel members. I don't know the specifics just yet. This is all in theory. By the time that the game is like ready to test, then I'll get back to you guys on that. But yeah, that's the plan, is to have channel members test out everything. Join the Discord, discord.gg/ThirtyVirus, to make sure that you stay up to date with that. And I'm planning on the day of release that I do a 24-hour run of a 30% discount only for the people that are there in the first 24 hours. That means you guys. I'm specifically making a discount for everybody that is watching this video and whatever video I make when I return. So the subscribers, people that follow me, people that want to support me will get that discount, and then strangers will pay full price after that. The goal is by the end of these 3 months to have at least 75% of the project completed, and then I'm hoping I can finish the rest over the next 3 months after that, but I can balance it with Skyblock, because when that much of the project is done, it's not just going to be like, oh, I have this massive thing in front of me that I can't do. It'd be more like, oh, I could put a few hours into. Anyways, there is that. So my goal with this project is to have Project Immortal reach at least 10,000 downloads, and a stretch goal of 100,000. That's insane. 100,000 downloads on a game pretty much means it was a success. So I'm hoping not to get there through pity, not to get there through just being popular. I'm not going to lean completely on the YouTube channel for this. I want it to be a genuinely good game that just so happens to get that many downloads because it's a good game. I'm going to love watching Let's Plays of it on YouTube and seeing the choices people make and the reactions they have. It's going to be fun. And then finally, my other goal is to release RP games for everyone to use for free with the rev split. I already said that. And that is all the programming stuff. But quickly, I'm going to go over my other goal during that time. I'm going to get into the, quote, best shape of my life. I mean, as you can see, I'm fine. I'm still not like overweight. Like, my weight is fine. I'm good. Like, I'm 170 pounds, which is great. I lost 55 pounds last year. About a year ago, I started the process of losing 55 pounds. And the way I did that was with steady state cardio. I was in a calorie deficit because I filled my stomach up with low calorie dense foods to keep from being hungry, that sort of thing. I did calisthenics to keep myself cardiovascularly fit. I think my best was like 55 average beats per minute heart rate, like resting. That's really good. It is not that good anymore. It's more like 63 because I haven't been able to do that because of Skyblock. But my goal is to be 170 at the end of the 90 days or 3 months, but also have a body fat percentage of about 12. That's about when people start to get six packs. Well, guys, at least. I think for women, it's like 20 something percent. I don't remember. It's different. But yeah, for a guy, about 12% body fat. That's like right before you get to enthusiast territory. I am not going to be a bodybuilder, but I would like to have the best physique that I can while maintaining other things like programming or YouTube. And yeah, it's also going to keep my mind sharp, because in order to do that, I'm going to make steps to get better sleep. I'm going to be taking creatine, which has proven actually to have mental benefits. It's also going to have a lot of caffeine consumed at opportune times to keep the energy to do the workouts, and will help me be productive. So it'll make the programming easier. So there you go. And then the last thing, I have a little secret app project planned. I'm not going to say much about it other than the fact that its aim is to help people lose weight the way I did with my strategies, and to be a bit more explanatory, like explain why everything works instead of just telling you, oh, you need to do this, this, and this, because people don't work that way. They need to know why so they can make adjustments for their life. So I'm going to make an app about it. I'm not going to get into the specifics, but I have a friend who actually will help lead a dev team. Sorry, burping. He'll lead a dev team who's going to make this app. And then like once a week, I'll spend an hour or two talking to make sure everything's going as planned. And it's not going to take too much of my time, but we'll see. It might turn into something. It might not. I'm not sure. But yeah, I'll get back to you guys on that. So When I return, the plan is to come back April 1st or 2nd. April 1st is about when everything would end, because 3 months, but it's also April Fool's Day, and I don't want people to think I'm joking, so April 2nd? I don't know. Maybe a day before, maybe it'd be March 30, does it have a 31st? I don't know. But anyways, ThirtyVirus, this channel is planned to go through a change as well. I'm going to continue doing Iron Man, I'm going to come back and actually start grinding the game again. But I'm going to mix in more experimental stuff. There's going to be more recorded content, more... I think I like the voiceover content, doing like, you know, Technoblade style stuff, Hellcastle style stuff, if you've seen those channels. I like that stuff. I'm going to try and do some more of it, some more tutorials, obviously, but, you know, still going to do the stream highlights, but I'm going to move away from that over the years because I feel like it's completely killing Fezzy, my editor. He hates the sorting process, and I can't blame him. So, and also, stream highlights don't have direction, and the way the YouTube algorithm is going, you kind of need direction to tell a good story for a video to do well. So, with that being said, I'm actually planning a new channel. If I get to the 12% body fat, there's so many promises in this video, I'm going to be disappointed if I don't do it. But if I get the physique I want, then I'm going to make a new channel that has the same name as me, Brandon Calories. It's going to be an IRL channel. I'll talk about fitness, I'll talk about finance, I'll talk about how to fix your life, because I did. If anyone knows my story, I did all those things, so I have a lot of good advice to give, I would think, hopefully. But it'll just be a channel about me, you know, it'll be vlogs maybe, travel vlogs like the one that's probably showing on screen right now. I love that video. Didn't get a lot of views though, because this channel isn't made for IRL content, so we'll see about that. And obviously I'm going to continue my gym schedule moving forward even after I come back, so I stay in shape and have sharp mind, that sort of thing. The last time that I had this much footage saved up was hardcore. Last year, 2021. It was over 100 hours of footage. It was basically Iron Man, but without the mode existing yet. Fezzy and I had to scrap the entire thing after a certain point because it was too boring. The game got to the point where it was all farming cane, and that's it. And the footage was too boring to make videos out of. I wanted to take a break and do this sort of thing back then, but the channel was like on fire and was losing views, and we had to upload less, and we had to make better thumbnails and change everything we were doing, and stress was at an all-time high. Hightail was just delayed. It was a really rough time. Like July of 2021 was one of my lowest points since 2020. Yeah, so it was bad. I thought the channel was gonna die at one point, but we luckily, you know, turned it around. That didn't happen. This time, I'm hoping there is no fire to put out. I'm hoping I don't have to scramble back and change everything and fix it, and because it's stressful and I'm not going to be able to do what I want with this thing. Anyway, it's actually going to be my birthday as of this video coming out, and the only present I want from you guys is to promise that you'll stick around during these 3 months. I know I'm not going to be present, but past me will be present. For my birthday, I'm hoping all I can get from you guys is the promise that there is not going to be a fire for me to put out while I'm gone. Hold down the fort, so to speak. And the way you can do that is notification bell, subscribing, commenting on every video, watch it to the end to let the algorithm know you enjoyed it. And you know what the biggest indicator is in the algorithm? Is when you watch a video all the way through, and then you watch a second one from that same creator all the way through, and then it tells the algorithm, I like this YouTuber, I'm gonna watch all their stuff. So if you could do that, that would be awesome. But yeah, for now, and the Discord, discord.gg/30virus. There's pings that happen on there in case the algorithm does not show you my content. That's the biggest thing I'm scared of, is that everything works on YouTube as a snowball effect. It starts as a little change, and then it's a big change, and suddenly everything needs to be fixed, and I don't want that. But anyways, I guess that's it. It's weird to say this, but I'll see you guys in 3 months. That's crazy, man. Hopefully by the time I come back, not only is the game engine done, but Immortal 75% complete or more. Maybe it will be done too, I don't know. There's probably a reason why games don't just pop up out of nowhere out of 3 months, especially with a dev team of 1 and a musician team of 1, and likely 1 artist, which I haven't figured out yet, but we're looking. but we'll see, I guess. But anyways, I guess that's it. So I hope you guys enjoyed. I'll see you guys later.